my technical piece here, and hopefully this works out real well for everybody. Glad to have you all join me for this presentation. Okay, so you hear a lot of things on the internet about herbs and the miraculous responses and things that you might get from herbs. There are a lot of people who are out there, especially since herbs and health is so popular now. And people are saying, it's where you can cure everything. That practically every ailment that you could ever conceive of just comes down to taking herbs. And I'm going to say, well, herbs are very beneficial for a number of things, and they're Earth's medicines. They're the medicines of the plant world. However, there are times when herbs don't work, and so I'm going to break that down in regards to why, the top reasons why herbs don't always work, and then what you can do about this as well so they can work for you if you choose to use herbs. And especially if you want to study herbs, then this is an excellent opportunity, because people are more interested in herbs probably than a lot of things. I've been teaching and working in the space of holistic health for a very long time. And I've been teaching as well. And the number one thing of all the classes, of all the areas in the area we call naturopathy, that I could teach on and that I could facilitate through the Holistic Training Institute, the number one most requested area of interest is on herbs. Okay, so it's very popular. So if you want to study herbs, guess what? Great. Understand your body, understand herbs, understand how herbs work with your body, how foods work with your body, and you'll be much better off as a result. Hello, everybody over here in Facebook as well. Okay, and by the way, we're live on Zoom too. So if you want to catch us on Zoom, you can do that as well. Okay, so number one, the top reason why herbs don't work, and that's one, you're not choosing the right herbs for you. Okay. Now, and those people who've been in my classes know that I teach from the standpoint of, I say, ATM. I share something I call ATM, and that's assessment, treatment, and maintenance. Assessment, treatment, maintenance. What does that mean? That means that, first of all, when you go to your medical doctor, or when you go to even a naturopathic person or someone in holistic health, the first step, one of the most important things is that they assess you. Okay, we're all different. Our body handles food differently, supplements, herbs, everything. You are individual. I don't care how many times people say, oh, everybody needs this, everybody needs that. It ain't true. It's not true. Just as you are unique in terms of your face, your fingerprint, your eyes, everything about you, throughout the millennia, throughout the since people have been on the earth, it's taken I forget how many thousands of people to get to you. So there's a mix of different genetic stuff that went into you that makes you unique. So you're not going to respond to things the same way. So some herbs aren't compatible with your constitution. They're not the ones for you. So they just might not be the best herbs for you. Okay. So they might work for a whole lot of other people. They might work for the majority of the people, and they may not work for you or your particular condition. My digestive system is different. Your digestive system is different. Every system of the body. It's not just being, and it's not just being male or female, but our hormones, our endocrine system, All the systems of our body make us uniquely us in all the choices and things that we've done in the meantime. Your digestive system isn't even the same as when you were a child. It changes. You may hear about your gut biome, okay, and that's what makes up your this intestinal bacteria in your gut that determines and that governs or that influences how you break down, digest, and absorb things. So it's different for everybody. Okay. And again, don't let other people tell you differently, especially if they have not assessed you and they just said, hey, take this because it's good for everybody. It's a blood cleanser. It's this, that, or the other thing. It's good for cleansing. It's the best thing for your gut. Well, that is when it really comes down to it, it's individual. Okay. So guess what? I've never run a health food store. Okay. And when you go to a health food store, you'll say, "Hey, what do you have for energy?" And they'll say, "Oh, we got whatever, vitamin B. We got this on the shelf," and they'll sell you whatever's on the shelf based on their education, but they're not assessing you. They're not looking at you individually or finding out why your energy is off, or why your digestive system is off, or why you're getting the symptoms or anything like that. That's not a holistic concept. That's a problem product approach. Okay. So constitution is different. Your digestive system, your body system is different. How we've evolved over time, your genetic mix, and all that does make a difference. And I'm just talking about hybridization of foods, because people talk about hybrid food. You got to have the original food. Most of our foods are not original, and that'll be another discussion for another time. But the sun, the soil, the moisture, the seasonal conditions, geography, and all that influences our what the herbs are even constituted from. All herbs are not the same. Okay, so you could have an herb; it'll be the same name. It could be even be the same species. It can be the proper medicinal herbs. And in my classes, I say, okay, well, if you say cinnamon, for example, what is the proper botanical name for that? So you're getting the right thing, the right medicinal product. Okay, you're not getting, you're actually getting cinnamon, or you're getting the medicinal cinnamon as opposed to cassia or something that's similar that could be sold under the same name. Let's see. So there's an answer to that. So one, in terms of selecting the right herbs, that's one. Especially if you have a chronic condition, you don't want to just look on the internet. You don't just want to talk to somebody who has looked on the internet. You want to speak to somebody. You want to speak to a qualified professional, someone who has some way of testing and measuring what your body needs. Now, if you're just drinking tea, if you're just drinking herbs for recreational purposes, okay, you're like, I like chamomile because it's calming and relaxing. I like the smell of it. I'm gonna get a little ginger or something like that. No big deal. But I'm talking about the medicinal applications of herbs. If you're using it as medicine, if you've got a health condition that you want to overcome, then get professional advice, to get assessment, free, get quality products as well. So here's another potential answer to that, and that is trying different herbs. So there are, like for the respiratory system, there are a number of different herbs that are indicated for the respiratory system. So if one isn't working, especially if you're taking it according to its usage, according to its recommended usage, then you may try something else. Be willing to try something else. And there are times when single herbs will do, and there are times when you need a combination, and that could be 2, 3, or 4 herbs in combination. Just because these herbs have been historically indicated for the digestive system or the immune system or the respiratory system or something. Doesn't mean when you put them all together, that's a great combination, because it changes the equation. Your body chemistry doesn't just work like that. So that's not always the answer. But you can try different herbs. You can find the right ones for you. Note how your body responds to the herbs. And by extension, whatever protocol you do something different, you're trying something, note how your body responds. Guess what? Nobody's more concerned about your body than you are. Nobody's more aware of your body than you are. We have what's known as biochemical individuality. What's that? Biochemical individuality is or means that your body's different than everybody else's. And therefore we respect that, understand that. And then as we do, then you can find out in you, if you're really diligent about and pay attention to this, you'll understand your body well enough that you could explain and share with other people, your healthcare practitioner, your doctor, or whatever, what's going on with your body. Okay. And some people are very sensitive to that, and other people not so much. We have not been taught to really listen, pay attention to our bodies. Women more so than men, I would say, though. But we still need to get another degree of that. And I'm going to share a video or some videos on what I call my ATM method, or understand how to speak to your practitioner, your medical doctor, or your holistic health practitioner, how to speak to them in such a way that you get the best health care, the best service, the best for your investment that you can. Okay. Let's see, we're talking about try different herbs. Try some different ones, sometimes single herb, sometimes combinations. Everything doesn't work for everybody the same way. Now, and then if you are studying herbs, if you want to study herbs and you want to distribute them, then you want to understand the human body, you understand your body, you understand how the body works, and you want to understand herbs and how they work as much as possible. We got to go beyond what we typically are finding, again, on the internet and some books. Got to go beyond a few books to understand the nature of healing, the models for healing, the options that there are, and how that comes together. Okay, so some people, some of you, and I'm sure some of you who are watching this may have some herbal formulas, may have something that you have put together. Okay, you may have seen something that caught your eye and said, "Ooh, that looks real good," and I'm gonna share and make that. Well, understand it, especially if it's for medicinal purposes and you're selling it to other people, then you want to understand it as much as possible so you can not only explain it, but even make some adjustments to your formula based on the people that you're serving and the condition that you're addressing. Let's see, the end. Don't judge another person's response to something based on your response. Let me give an example of this. So if I drink coffee and you drink coffee, there's some people, they drink coffee, like I'm very sensitive. I'll drink some coffee and it'll hype me up. I'll be really hyped up. And there are other people that I know, and they'll drink coffee and they'll say, "Oh, I can go to sleep on that. It doesn't, it doesn't affect me until I have 3, 4, or I can have a lot of it." Because people respond to different things. Now, if I tell you that you're going to respond to coffee the way that I respond to coffee, then that's not true. Your body responds to coffee based on your constitution and your makeup. and somebody else bases on theirs. Too often I hear people broadly say, if you take this or if you do this, this is what's going to happen. It doesn't always happen to everybody the same way. One reason why I have, or I'll say, respect and for the medical system, and yeah, I'm holistic, I'm a naturopathic doctor, but I still have respect for the medical system, for certain applications and for certain aspects. And here's one, is that when you go to a doctor, if you call doctor's office, or you go to a doctor and you say, doctor, I got my nose is, my nose is running, my throat is whatever, okay? Guess what? They're going to take you through a series of tests to see what's going on with you, even if they've seen 100 people before that had a cold, flu, or COVID, or whatever. The best thing they should, if they're doing their job right, they're going to test you, okay, to see exactly what's going on with you. So testing is important, and then the right application of this. And then the other thing they're going to do is they're also going to take a health history. They're going to say, if you have a particular concern, then they're going to say, okay, what's your health history? What have you had before? What's been done? Have you had a surgery or medication? Are you allergic to anything? Because you can be allergic to foods. You can be allergic to herbs. There's some things that your body doesn't tolerate well. So again, especially if you're dealing with medicinal herbs, you want to understand that. You want to be able to assess people to see if they have sensitivities to one thing or another as well. And again, don't judge by your response. Okay, don't tell everybody they're going to get the same response. I hear that too often. It is individual. Some people will respond well. Some people will be what we call paradoxical. There's something called a paradoxical response. And if anybody's in medicine, you'll understand this. What does paradoxical mean? Paradoxical means that a person can get the exact opposite reaction, okay? Hear me? The exact opposite reaction to a medicine or to a substance as what it is intended for, okay? Like the example that I gave with the coffee. One person hypes them up, another person, they like, I can go to sleep on that. One person, you can have a medication that one person, it helps their pain, and other people, their pain gets more intense. Okay, they call that a paradoxical response. Okay, it's opposite of what is expected. Guess what? Yeah, that actually happens. You probably hadn't heard that before. If you have, good. Now, what else? Yeah, keep a journal. In either case, keep a journal. Note how your body adjusts to what you do, the herbs, the changes that you make. And then the second reason why herbs don't work, or certain herbs may not work for you, is because they aren't good quality. Okay? All herbs are not made the same. All herbs, it's not the same condition. Price should not be the sole determining factor when selecting medicinal herbs. The effectiveness and suitability should be, okay? Effectiveness and suitability, okay? So here's what's been happening in some studies. I pay pretty close attention to this. And that is, somebody will go to a drugstore and they'll say, oh, here is some herb A, whatever. And it'll be turmeric. I can say, and they'll get this and they'll say, oh, this turmeric. And it's on sale at for $3.99 for a bottle. And it gives me 100 capsules and it says, okay. And someplace else, you may go to a health food store someplace else, and that same amount is 2, 3, 4, 10 times higher. They say, well, I'm just going to get this at Walmart because it's cheaper. Well, what they found in studies is sometimes there's very little and sometimes almost none of that particular herb in there. Okay, or it's not quality. So what you're taking may not be a quality product. So it's vitally important to understand that in the marketplace, and I'm going to liken it to something you may be able to relate to, liquors and liqueurs, okay, or wines. You got some wine, probably a few dollars, $6, $5, $6. You got some wine you could spend hundreds of dollars on. You got some liqueurs that you can, they're relatively inexpensive. You got some that are very expensive. Okay, the quality of those things, how they made it, how they process it, what they put into it is quite a bit different. And so the taste the taste will be different. And with herbs, the results will be different. I've been over the years, I'll tell you, over more than 30 years that I've been in holistic health. I've been fortunate to go to at least one plant that was, I want to say, pharmaceutical grade and quality. They put the herbs through the same quality standards and the same scrutiny as drug companies do. Okay, so it would be, so they tested the batches, they tested the product in the batches. They rejected a whole lot of it because it wasn't good, because it was contaminated. It wasn't, what they were, paying for. And some companies are buying these things and they're selling it. So they're selling cheap, they're selling inferior quality products, and you're purchasing them. And then somebody's saying, well, I tried something and it doesn't work. Well, you got some cheap stuff. Okay. You got some stuff that was low quality anyway. And so let's not just look for quality in terms of our clothes and our red bottoms or whatever stuff that you're going to purchase. Whatever you put into your body should be of high quality, actually the highest quality. Okay, so know that that you are not going to get the same thing, from all the time. You're not always going to get the best quality products. And again, don't base it on price. Let's see, from tested companies. So go cheap on the things you can, but they don't go on your body, but go premium on things that go into your body. You may ask questions of the source, ask questions, whether it be a health food store or the store or something. Well, some of the regular stores, a lot of times they don't know what they have. They just sell it because it's popular. But if you're going to someplace or you're working with someone, then you want to ask about, again, the quality, the efficacy. With every herb that there is kind of what they would call an active ingredient, or let's call it an active constituent. And that active constituent means that it has a chemical profile. Okay, if I'm getting complicated, ask me questions, or perhaps I'll revisit this in another call. But there are, every plant, every herb has got, like, let's say, call it a chemical profile. It's got different things in it. And so if there's something that's supposed to be for pain, there's a constituent, there's a chemical in there that should be present that would be helpful for pain. Or if it's something for whatever the medical concern is, that should be in there, and that should be recognizable if they're testing, especially if they're testing for it. Okay, so quality would be an indication. Quality would be a reason why an herb does not work, or the herbal formula or the herbal product that you're taking does not work. Know where it comes from and know what you're getting. Look for quality. Okay. 3, you're not using it properly. Okay. All herbs are not made the same way, or all herbs are not intended to be used the same way. There are teas, tinctures, extracts, salves, ointments, oils. There are a lot of different ways to take herbs. So if you're taking an herb in a tea form when you really need a what would be called an extract, a liquid extract, a tincture, or need it in a different form and a different dosage or amount and frequency, then it's not going to work. It's just like with your medicine. If it says, okay, take this, take this medicine 4 times a day, every 3 hours or something like that. Take 2 tablets 4 times a day, or 1 tablet or something like that. If you're not taking the herb according to a recommendation, or even better yet, according to how your body needs it, then you're not going to get the same result. Okay. My body, your body, somebody else's body, depending on weight, depending on somewhat constitution as well, just depending, it would be different. We have certain rules with herbology. We have certain rules on how you should take different herbs. Okay, the average recommendation is based on a man 150 pounds. So if you're not a man, it will be different. If you're a child, it's going to be different. In a 75-pound child, 5-year-old child or something, it's going to be different. If you're an elderly person, it will be different. So the recommended way or amount for you kind of personalize or individualize a bit more would be a factor, okay, as well as again a tea. Let me give an example here. A tea. What do you do with a tea? You take the herb, you boil the water, and then you take it off of the heat. You put the herb in there, and then you allow it to steep. Okay, and then you have this beverage, right? When you use it with water that way, that is diluted. Okay, so you got the herb, you got a medicinal herb. Let's say it's even a good medicinal herb, and you dilute it. That is not as strong. That is not the same concentration as you would have with an extract or in some other form. Okay, so the form, the amount, the dosage should be adjusted to the person and considering of the condition as well. There's some herbs that you can use internally. There's some herbs that you use externally. There's some herbs that you use internally and externally. You may use a tea and a salve or cream or something for an external condition. You may use an extract along with that, etc. So you may not be using it the right way. And then potency, form, and all that makes a difference. Now, here's something else that I want to put it on, put together on that you're not using it properly as well. And that is also that health building involves a protocol, or what we call protocol and programs. What you eat, what you drink, how your body functions as a result of what you're eating. Your body functions according to what you're eating, as well as what I call eating you. Body, mind, spirit. It's if you are angry, upset, if your state of mind impacts how your body is going to receive certain things, expectations. Okay. Do you expect to get better? Do you want to get better? Are you taking what state of mind are you in as you're taking the medication? Are you just sloshing something down, or what? Okay, so our state of mind, or state of being, makes a difference as well. So, and kind of in summary, some of the reasons why herbs may not work: they're not the best for you constitutionally. They're not a good quality. Uh, you're not using them properly. Um, and again, because our genetic makeup and constitution is different. And then, of course, keep a journal. Make note of how your body responds to different things, because sometimes herbs will work, and you have a condition that recurs over time, and you won't even remember what you did. So make note of it. Uh, of all the things that you could do in your life, of all things you could invest your time and your energies into, invest more time and energy into understanding your body, understanding yourself, understanding what it needs. And as you do that, again, I recommend what Oprah and so many other people do, that you journal, that you take some time every day and write down what's going on in your life. But when it comes to your health and wellness, if you're on a health journey, that you're writing these things down too. Okay. That you're you're making note of the food and how you feel and what's going on. You're making, if you're on a health protocol for weight loss, for cleansing, whatever, that you're journaling that as well, that you're remembering and you're learning more about your body. Because I got this expression, sometimes I share it online. If you wear your body out, where are you going to live? Okay. Your body's on the place you got to live. You're not going to get another body. You're not going to get a do-over. You're not getting, and chances are you're not going to get another kidney, liver, organs or something like that. Okay. People aren't giving up theirs, and they're not just swapping them out, and they're not cheap. Okay. They're not cheap or readily available. So you want to take care of the body that you've got. We spend so much money on all kinds of things. We don't take the time and the energy, the devotion. We don't invest enough in our bodies. So I'm going to have more sharing on this and other things related as we go further. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Facebook. Some of you, I know you are on Facebook. I'm going to do more on Instagram. I'm going to do more on TikTok and whatever, especially as I get help. I'll tell you, I'm the holistic guru. I'm not the tech guru. So, but I'm getting better, and I'll get better when I've got more help. So if you are a person who is interested in holistic health and you're more tech savvy, guess what? I may want to work with you. Okay, you may want to work with me, because I'll share my intention. My express intention is to share everything that I've experienced, everything that's gotten me to this point for more than 30 years, more closer to 40 years. And I want to share that. And guess what? Most people don't. This guy here, George Washington Carver, here he is. George Washington Carver didn't. We don't know all of what he knew. This man was a genius. We don't know all of what he knew. We don't know all of what Dr. Sebi or so many of the people, so many of our ancestors, we don't know unless we preserve, protect, promote, perpetuate, those things, unless we put them in books. And we have the ability now to put things in terms of technology and archive this like we never had before. So one, I'm going to ask for some help. I'm going to ask for, so somebody says, I'm interested in this. Dr. Brown, I think that what you share is valuable. Okay, and I'm willing to help you and support you in terms of getting this out. I've got a newsletter and some other things, I'll talk about that in another time. You can contact me at Holistic Guru, that's WHOLISTIC guru@gmail.com. Bartering is a possibility as well. Holistic Guru at at gmail.com. Again, WHOLISTIC, GURU@gmail.com is one way of getting in touch with me as well. Because again, if I can take this body of knowledge, in fact, you'll see, those people on Facebook will see just some of the books and things behind me. You'll see a bit of a green screen as well. Try to get that out of the way. But this is the books that you see here represent a fraction of the books that I have and the resources that I have. I'm gonna say my resources and things are practically unlimited. Okay, so here's the thing, but what we don't do as a people, and especially as people of color, is we don't necessarily pass these things down so they live for generations. See, what you devote your life to, or what I'm devoting my life to, I want to see it positively impact generations. It's not just about hustle. It's not just about, okay, hey, I can make a lot of money. Too often we've thought about that, but we don't think about the next generation. We need to leave what I call generational wealth. That's good. Okay. And you hear people talking about that. Oh, leave houses and stuff. But we need to leave generational health. Okay. And generational health means that not only do I have good health, but I have something that I've shared that is going to benefit my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, generations yet unborn. And when that happens, then we end up breaking these cycles of generational curses. We end up breaking, and if we address generational wealth, we impact the health as well, because one of the main reasons why people go bankrupt is because they lose their health. Okay. And so you lose your health and you lose your wealth. And if you have wealth but you don't have health, what's the value in that? Okay. If you can't travel and do the things that you want to do, if you don't have longevity, we have a lot to contribute to future generations, and we can do that through preserving, protecting, promoting, perpetuating, passing these things along as well, and those things that are valuable. Nobody wants guess what, 2 generations from now, nobody's going to be looking for your clothes and your red bottom shoes or the car that you drove and the stuff that you had. But we can leave something that's much more valuable than that. And for those people, again, who are interested, then, and thank you, because I see some people who say they are interested. Those people who are interested, then okay, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm gonna give you all that I got. I'm gonna give you all that I got, unfiltered, whatever. I'm gonna share that, because I do want to see this pass along. So many of our leaders, our healers and people have passed on without doing so. I've got books, I've got book titles, I've got all kinds of things that I want to write. But even I'll say, as important as that is that you got books in you that you can write. There are things that you can learn. Everything that I share, I learned from someone somewhere. I'm carrying on a legacy. I'm standing on the shoulders of my ancestors. One of them I admire greatly, George Washington Carver, genius of a man. But it's like, what would have happened? What would the world be like? What would our community be like? What would HBCUs be like if he would have taken those 300 different patent things that he invented and patented them and left them in trust for HBCUs or for the betterment of not just humankind, but our people? We would have a completely different situation. 2 of the biggest gaps that we have are the wealth gap, the difference between the value of white Americans and Asians and African Americans and people of color, and the health gap. The health disparities are so great. It's like, how did the strongest people that ever came to the Americas, how did we become the sickest and the weakest? Interesting. How did that happen? Okay, we weren't sick in the South. We weren't sick as, you know, slaves. I mean, we didn't have longevity because of the abuses, but we were strong people. So I'm going to get off my soapbox on that a bit, and again share that, because I've got to have a team at this point. I'm looking forward. I feel I'm in very good health, very good state of health, and those people who know me know that I run. I've done marathon. I'm a marathoner, and in this, so I'm not expecting to check out anytime soon. But I know that no one is immortal. Okay, and I'm willing to share that with the world. My express mission through the Holistic Training Institute is to train a healer in every home, in every family, in every community, in every place of worship. We got to reach people where they are. And here's something else I want to share. I've been going to some of the largest conferences in the world for natural products and in natural products industry. And the call for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion is stronger than ever before. There's more financial support and more, I'll say, structural support, resources than there's ever been. Okay. So those people who are interested in the industry, and again, doing something in the industry, there's a conference coming up relatively short, soon, that I'll be going to, and to bring that back. So it's got to be articles and newsletters and blogs and all that kind of stuff. And again, I'm not that tech savvy, and even if I was, I wouldn't want to wear all those hats. I can wear this hat pretty well. I can't wear all those hats. So if other people would say, hey, Doc, I'll take this on. I see what you're doing. I believe in what you're doing. This is my ministry. Okay. We support our ministries, right? This is my ministry. This is my part of my obligation and what I'm going to do, do in the world. Over the years, we've done scholarships, we've done all kinds of things. And I tell you, it's not been easy carrying this. I'm not going to say alone, because I've had staff through the center and then over the years, and I've had support to varying degrees. I just want to say I need it just as much now than ever before. Probably more so now, because one, the need is so great. The vision and the dream is large. There's so many people who need to be helped, not just here, but internationally. And I can do that through online. I'm not going to do a physical. I don't plan on doing a physical location anymore, but I need to do this online. Okay. So holisticguru@gmail.com. And then my YouTube channel, I'll be sharing more on YouTube. This video will be available on YouTube under Jesse R. Brown. And then again, other social media iterations. Okay. I'm going to go to our Facebook Live here a bit and respond to some of this. So people said I'm interested. That would have been all. Yeah. Here's my theory on this. George Washington Carver, I really admire him. I'm going to call him Dr. George Washington Carver, even though he never attained his doctorate, formally. He could definitely get one posthumously, as far as I'm concerned. And here's the thing, is that who knows this? Who knows this? Of the approximate 300 different, and if you think about the enormity of that, that's incredible. Of the approximate 300 different discoveries, inventions that George Washington Carver came up with, how many of these do you think that he patented? Any idea? That he actually held a patent on? Okay, because he came up with, okay, so I'll give the answer, because I'm not seeing any, I'm not seeing the answer here. Probably three. So he was best known for the peanut, soybean, and sweet potato, right? And he did that because they were soil rejuvenators. Okay, they helped to regenerate the soil. and he needed to come up with this because cotton was destroying the earth. I'm gonna give a class on this, on the life of George Washington Carver and what we can learn from the life of George Washington Carver and how we can apply things today as well. Okay. So, but if he would have taken those 300, see, he didn't have children. So I think he wanted to lead things to humanity. He was more altruistic than what you'll find many capitalists are like today. So he said, I'm going to give it away. I'm going to give it to humanity. You know, people want to answer, I'm going to give it away. He didn't monetize and residualize and create trusts and all that like Henry Ford and so many others did. So we need to do it. And there's nothing wrong with capitalism per se. There's nothing wrong with some things going on. I say especially if you have things that are going to benefit other people, that are going to benefit humanity in greater ways. So he did it in a way that he thought was good. We can go even beyond that with what we have available today. Okay. So a couple other things I want to share. The Holistic Training Institute. For those people who are not familiar, the Holistic Training Institute is a state licensed school. We are a proprietary school. As far as I know, we are the only African-American owned state licensed school or trade school for natural health, for naturopathy in the country. Okay. And why is that important? Because just as HBCUs, just as historically Black colleges and universities were designed because we were not accepted, we were not allowed, we were not encouraged, we were sabotaged. First time George Washington Carver tried to go to college, they saw a Black man come up and they said, the scholarship that he would have had, they said, oh no, you ain't going here. We don't accept colored people, whatever, Negroes here. And they rejected him, and he had to end up getting, going someplace else. But HBCUs came about because of an obligation to our people and realizing we needed cultural relevance. We needed people who look like us, who spoke like us, who were from our communities, who had our best interest in mind to teach us. We had to qualify ourselves. If other people wouldn't qualify us or consider or take care of us. Okay. So, so we need that today. This industry, this natural products industry, for example, is approximately a $270 billion industry. Wow, 270 billion? Yeah, $270 billion. Now, and it's projected to go to 300 billion by 2028. And that's just a few, 2024. And it's projected to go to 400 billion by 2030. And that's a short time away, which is going to lead me right into, someone's got a question. What popular trends are you seeing in the health? Charles Cater. Okay. Very good question. The trends that I'm saying, I'll say one of the biggest trends, one of the biggest segments in the holistic healthcare area relates to the immune system. So I'll give you a little bit of information on that, because y'all, if y'all don't know, I'm a talker. But a little bit of information on this is, prior to COVID, products, herbs, echinacea, golden seal, whatever, products for the immune system, typically sold during the cold and flu season, right? It was seasonal products. Now, you know what happened? They're not only selling more, but they're selling all year round because people are concerned about the immune system. So I'll say a little something here, and I'll try to say it in such a way that I don't get flagged or tagged or whatever by the powers that be. But your chances of getting sick from a virus or something really is more reflective of the strength of your immune system than anything. So if your immune system, inflammation is important as well. That's kind of a reactionary response to something that offends, you're allergic to, etc. But if your immune system is strong, I'm going to go to the African proverb that says this. It says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do us no harm. Okay. So that's what the African proverb said, and that goes back a long ways. And then there is in fact, one of these books behind me, it speaks to, they say, okay, it's not, Pasteur was talking about germ theory and such, but there was another school of thought said, it's not whether there are germs and stuff around us that will infect us and take our body over. Environment matters. What is our environment matters? So when you hear about gut biome and the digestive system and those other things, they're saying greater is he that is within me than he that is within the world. Okay. If there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do us no harm. Okay. And I'm not saying, so what I'm saying is monitor your immune system. What I've done is not only the swabs and those types of things, but I'm a regular blood donor. So when they test my blood, they, for a solid year that they tested my blood, they were finding the antibodies to the C word, the COVID. I don't think they're gonna flag me for that. Okay. And so your body is your immune system is supposed to recognize, respond, and remember. If it recognizes what's not you and what would work against you, viruses, bacteria, germ, whatever we're going to call that, any number of different things, as well as, cancers and other things. If it recognizes what's you from what's not you, distinguishes what's you from what's not you, it recognizes, it responds with antibodies, with and there's a number of names that we can call for them, that digestive, that neutralize, that offenders, recognizes a response, and then remembers, it says, okay, doesn't matter if there's a variant, doesn't matter if it comes, doesn't matter if somebody comes in, doesn't matter if the thief or the disease comes in with sunglasses and a hat and a mask and something, comes looking some other kind of way, it's going to remember, and it's going to continue to produce antibodies. That's the role of the immune system. We should not circumvent that. We need to supplement that. So what we eat, what we think, what we do, how we live, are we exercising? Are we in a peaceful state of mind? What's your life like? Okay, is going to greatly influence the strength of your immune system, so that it doesn't matter what happens here. See, people can't make us mad. Either you made me mad, you did. People can't make us mad. We can choose to respond. If we're in control, we choose to respond if we're fortified. So our meditation and all those other things make a difference as well. So here's the other thing is, when herbs don't work, it's like if you're not on program, and don't drink alkaline water and have an acidic attitude. Okay. Should I say that again for somebody in cheap seats in the back? Don't drink alkaline water and be vegan and all this and be mean to people and be pissed off and funky. Okay. Love people, not things. Okay. Don't get me started on that. Some people will push their kid out there. So anybody can take care of their kid, but they won't give you the keys to their car. They'll give you the kid and that car. What can you replace? Okay, so we need to value people over things, but that's not what we're doing. So it's no wonder when people are killing and doing stuff, violent things over things, over possessions. Do you possess them, or they possess you? Yeah, we need to keep our blood and our bowels cleansed, absolutely. Reason why we saw over 60,000 people over more than 30 years is because people felt the difference and noticed a dramatic difference in not just how they felt, but how their bodies responded when they went through cleansing. And I know I've got to do a book on this, especially since I closed the center and you know, people are calling and texting and whatever, you know, people are asking me for training for colon hydrotherapy and for all this. And so that's what kind of why I'm putting it out here, because I know the need is great. And I know that even as I was considering retiring to an extent, that people said, Dr. Brown, you can't. It's like all that you've done, all the people that you know, that you've touched, the people you trained and all that, you can't do that. So I've got to put it in books. Got to replace some of these, got to share of the interviews. I'll tell you, I've interviewed some incredible people, CEOs. You know, Charles was asking me about trends and things. I've got access to unlimited resources. I'm going to say that. Unlimited resources in the industry, and I would be remiss in my responsibility to not share that with others. So again, the conferences that are coming up and those things that most of the conferences I've been at, I don't recognize anybody. One, it's not as many people of color. And that's important because of the health disparities. And that's vitally important because here's the thing is, if the people in the industry don't look like you and their audience is not you, then they're not formulating things that are for you. So we need people of color who are doing this. See, I got involved in holistic health because I wanted to do something for my family and, you know, in my circle. What I see in my community, the ills in my community, somebody else isn't necessarily seeing them the same way. And they're not marketing, they're not formulating, they're not catering to, their focus is not educating, empowering, much less creating enterprises and entrepreneurs from this. And that's what we need to do. A reason why George Washington Carver came up with 300 different purposes, because the farmers in the South that he was working with said, we're making money off cotton, we're not making money off peanut, soybean, and sweet potato. And he says, oh, I've got to show you a way to make money off this so it's a cash crop, so you can grow these things, because it's going to be good for the environment. It's going to regenerate the soil. It's going to put money in your pocket as well. I know you got to feed your family. Okay. A way that we're going to go from a drug-oriented society to one that is based on herbs and natural living is because we're going to go from drug dealers to healers. Okay. We're going to go drug dealers to natural healers. And drugs proliferated in our community, not because we demanded it the most or wanted it, is because there was an economic incentive for that. Okay, you give somebody cheap drugs, then they're going to use that. You pay someone's making a living, someone's putting food on the table because of drugs or whatever, something violent, whatever it is, that's what they're going to do. I believe that we can have 100% employment in our community on things that are positive, things that benefit the community, things that uplift us, things that are health building and not draining, not curses, not harmful to our community. And that's one of our biggest opportunities is to say, how many different ways, if we're going to go from an industry that's 276 billion to 400 billion, that's 124 billion. That's more than the economy of many countries. Okay, if we're going to grow 124 billion in over expand of less than a decade, that is one of the best opportunities for us. If we're talking about high growth industry, in something where, guess what? There are no degrees, or well, I'll say relatively few in that. There are not degrees in natural products, is what I mean. But you can learn some things that would be quite beneficial. And so the demand is great. Okay. And we're not getting, just imagine if 15% approximately of the population, African Americans, if we got 15% of that, what impact that would have in our community. I believe it comes down to 60, was between 450, is it 60 some billion, 68 billion or something? I think we figured it out to be, depending on which number you look at, about 15%, 14, 15% of that would end up putting billions into our community. So just imagine if it was a billion in Detroit, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, Miami, whatever. If we had billions of dollars flowing into our communities from positive things, that's going to create more jobs. That's going to feed people. That's going to do a whole lot. Okay. So here's an opportunity. Here's what I want you to do at this point as well. For the people who want to work with me, holisticguru@gmail.com, and go to holistictraininginstitute.teachable.com. Tanya or somebody want to put that in notes there? holistictraininginstitute.teachable.com. So here's first thing I'm going to offer you, and that's a free class. And so you can register in there, and you can take the free class, Top 10 Herbs Every Home Needs. In fact, I'm in the process of revising that. There are some other courses that are in there. The Healing Secrets of the Bible, I believe, is in there. And the herbology courses are in there as well. Though I teach herbology from I got a different way of teaching it. I got some students who are on here. I got a different way of doing that and different way of sharing it, where I talk about body systems, herbs, etc. But again, I got so much more. Through the Holistic Training Institute, I'm going to let you know that I don't think I've said this publicly, but we're approved through the state of Michigan for approximately 100 different courses to teach. But the only way that I'm going to do that is because y'all want to help me. Okay. And that's Institute. Tanya, I need you to make a correction on that. holistictraininginstitute.teachable.com. The email is to sign up. Excuse me, you said email to sign up. The school, the platform, the online platform is holistictraininginstitute.teachable.com. Okay. Let's see. And then there's a couple things. I think our school, the Holistic Training Institute, and that's holistic with a W, WHOLISTIC, training, TRAINING, Institute. Yeah, you got to spell it out. I couldn't get the WTI. I don't think I was available. But holistictraininginstitute.com is I get someone to kind of keep that update. That'll be up to date. But Holistic Training Institute.teachable.com. Tanya's putting that back in the notes. But Holistic Training Institute.teachable.com will get you to our online training platform, and with the help, and thank you all the people who said that they would help, that they support this. Thank you. We'll do better and better as we go 2023 and forward. We'll be a part of this natural products industry and the natural health industry. And as it says scripturally, okay, beloved, above all things, I wish that you would be in good health and prosper as your soul prospers also. Forgive me, I'm not a preacher's kid, close, but you know what I'm saying. Is it above all things, we need to prosper and be in good health as our soul prospers also, you know, that's a high calling. That's a high blessing for people as well. Okay. So we can turn this thing around. We can really make a major difference. And I think there's never been a better time than right now. So again, I appreciate your time. Classes, in fact, I get classes, you know, starting real soon. People will be able to take classes online exclusively as they get recorded. But these classes, I've got just probably a couple more that I'll be doing live. It'll be live interaction, that I'll be talking about the herbs and talking about the roots of our roots and their applications and preparation methods and all that. And I tell you, I love it. I love to share. If you didn't get it from this, I love to share. I kind of love to be in this space. Yeah, first there'll be the live classes, and then they'll be recorded. But you know, I want to keep them coming till we got 100, until we got books, and until you know so much that you can write the books and that you can do the lectures and you can do this and pass it along, because I can't be everywhere. I can't be Detroit, Flint, Chicago. I can't be everywhere all the time. Okay, it's not even about me. It's about helping people. Healers in every home, healers in every family, every community, every place around the world, healing people, healing the earth, healing our animals, healing, you know, so that we don't destroy as we have been doing. Okay, so I know we're at time, and I think hopefully I answered the questions that people had. Tanya, we just missed a T in Holistic Training Institute. Teachable.com. How will I share my vegan potluck on time? Excuse me, online. How will you share your vegan? After this call, give me 15, 20 minutes after this call. And I will you know, so I can share. We got a newsletter and some other things. I don't know if you're talking about newsletter or on Facebook pages or something like that. We'd love to do that. I want to collaborate with people as well. We got to do that. Okay, we got to collaborate. No one does anything great alone, right? Amen, somebody. No one accomplishes anything great alone. Okay, yeah, Mama Raven, we got somebody on here. She's an herbalist. She's a brilliant person. She's been dedicated to the community for a long time. Okay, the link is here. I don't see the link. Yeah, Raven's out there. There are a lot of people who are doing some beautiful things with food and such, and now is our time. Okay. All right. I think that's about the questions we have right now. holistictraininginstitute.teachable.com. Facebook right now. I'm on Facebook under my name, on the Holistic Training Institute. YouTube, Jesse R. Brown. Don't put an I in my name. Jesse, Jesse R. Brown will be on there. This will be, the recording of this will be online as well. Someone's going to edit that. In fact, one of my students is helping me to edit this as well. And then if you're not getting the newsletter, on a semi-final note, if you're not getting the newsletter, text the word holistic to 22828. Text the word holistic, WHOLISTIC, to 22828. I want to see those numbers go up. Otherwise, I got to just, man, you know, I need subscribers. I want people to subscribe to that. And then I'll also be able to interview people like Mama Raven and other people who are doing things in the community to get it out there to so many others. Preserve, protect, promote, perpetuate, and pass this along for future generations. Our children, and children's children should benefit from this in healing. Okay? All right, take care, be well, everybody, and love you. Peace. Love, peace, and soul. Take care.